Hi everyone, Hannah here. So before we get started in our next tutorial, I wanted to show you what you could use these altered books for. And it's the same concept as a junk journal. Um, this one, since this one has like math stuff, I thought I would um, kind of journal about the kids' year. They just started school last week, and so I could document some different things. And so I was thinking, like on this page, I could just cut this picture and, just glue it, just kind of glue it right in the center. And then each of these little booklets, I had 2 of them. So I thought what I could do is either just write on it or write on another piece of paper and then glue it on. And one book I'll write about my daughter, and then one book I'll write about my son. Maybe just different memories or different things, in the current school year, maybe different things that they tell me or that they learn, or different things that I see them doing, just to write down, some different things, just to document memories. I have been a long time scrapbooker, and it's the same concept. It's just a different layout or presentation. Junk journaling is maybe making things look more vintage and old, whereas personally, in my opinion, scrapbook is making things more pretty and elegant, or at least that's how I made my scrapbooks. I just decked them out with layers and layers of lace, and they were really pretty, and I really liked them, and a lot of people enjoyed them. That purchased them. And the junk journal or the altered book, it seems like it's doing it this way, kind of more of, on your own personal level, and how you would like to document different things in your life. And people have different books for different things. Some people even have a recipe junk journal, and they just, have it different sections, like maybe each signature would be, one for desserts, and one for meats, and one for like vegetable dishes or casserole dishes. And and then some will have different goals. They'll write down different goals and document them, and then work toward each goal. And then as they get each goal accomplished, they'll write down, okay, on this date I accomplished this goal, this is how I did it. And so it's a way to look back, to see the accomplishments that you've made. And it helps you keep check of yourself. So that's another way that I've seen people use junk journals or altered books to document that. Another way is just documenting memories, whether it's from a trip that you went on, or certain seasons, maybe something you did in the summer, or like with this one about my kids with this school year. Um, you know, they make great gifts as well to make and give to people. And when I make these and gift them or sell them to someone, I make sure to have lots of places with little pockets and little booklets so that they can document things in it for whatever they want to use it for. And some people just have a daily junk journal or altered book, and they just might write down things that come to mind that day, or things that they saw that stood out to them. It's like a diary, a journal that they write in each day. So these are different ways, some of the different ways. I'm sure there are many different ways that you can use these junk journals or altered books in your life. And so I just kind of wanted to take some time to to show you, and what I will try to start doing. I know I pretty much just stick with like the layouts and show you how to incorporate you know, the items that you receive in your box, but I will try to start actually making layouts and, you know, documenting things in it to show you how you can use it. So this, I'm just going to cut this picture down and center it right on the page. And then, like I said, each book will be for each child, and you know, I'll just write down little things, maybe something that they say one day that just kind of stuck with me. I'll write it down. I'll say, Andrew said this, or Audrey did this, or different things like that. So since this one's kind of already geared toward academics and learning, I thought, well, you know, I'll just go ahead and just use it for that. So I hope that helps, and now we'll go ahead and get started on the rest of our tutorial. So on this page, I wanted to start incorporating some of the journaling cards. And going through the tutorials, I realized I have not used any of the journaling cards. Normally I'm using them on page 1, and I don't know, I guess I just completely forgot. I got sidetracked and was using some of the other items, you know, that you received in your kit. So I'm going ahead and just, you know, going to put some of these down. Also, I wanted to show you when you're getting your sari silk in your kits, that stuff is bad about, you know, the ends just wadding up. Well, I actually like that. I just cut off those wadded up ends, and I use them in my projects. So I thought, if your pieces have any little wadded up ends on them, just cut it off and glue it down. And I probably should have let the glue dry first. I didn't. I'm going ahead and putting down the washi tape. It's not sticking very well. So I would say let the glue dry, or put it in a different place, you know, where the washi tape's not going to go over that wet glue, because it's not sticking very well. And I do end up coming back and putting an extra piece of washi tape on it, just to help it seal a little bit better. And so anyway, I'm just kind of working on some different things here, wanting to implement these journaling cards. So I'm cutting up a piece. I like to cut up or tear the journaling cards up, not all of them, just some of them that look, you know, have some interesting parts to it. I like the look of this one. You know, it's got some numbers and letters on it, and so I wanted to use that. So, and I'm fixing it to where it just kind of peeks out from parts of the overall layout on this page. And that's kind of how I like to do it. I approach the junk journal or altered book page spreads almost like I would a mixed media project, where I like to have a focal point, and then I like to have other little areas of interest. Now some of my page spread layouts are more plain, and I'm just kind of gluing some different things on the page and have a little pocket, and you know, that's a wrap. I'm done with that page. But then some of them I like to, you know, kind of go the extra step, make it look really, you know, extra nice or special. And so anyway, each, you know, to each his own, however you want to do it. Our styles are all different. And that's what makes junk journaling so fun and exciting, is that everybody's styles are unique to their own individual taste and interest. And so this is going to make a little bit of a pocket here, and I'm just showing you that it makes that pocket. I'm just folding taking a book page out and just folding it up small, and then just going to stick that right in there. Now it's a little bit bulky, but with, over time with the book being closed, that page won't be so bulky. And you could even take that little folded up piece and sit it under a book or something heavy and flatten it out so that it's not lifting up that journaling card. So, and this was a leftover piece of the receipt that I had, and I thought, well, this would be great because I might want to write something down on the pink flap and then lift it up and glue a picture down underneath that. So it's got, a title to it, and you flip it up and you can see the rest of the picture. And then I'm just going to glue down the rest of that journaling card, and then this a piece of this little tag here. So to start out this layout, I'm going to take my stencil and shimmer mist and just spritz a little bit. You can see a little bit of the design there. And then what I like to do, whatever shimmer mist is left on that stencil, I like to turn it over and press it down again. Kind of almost look like little paint splatters, little splatters of the shimmer mist. So I like that. So I had a little bit of leftover piece here from the other layout when I had tore some of it off and glued it down. This is going to be a pocket. So I glued the top, the bottom, and the left side. And then one of the die cut pieces from the July collection, I'm just going to glue it down. I tore it in half. And I'm going to add half of it up at the top and the other half at the bottom. I like to press it down real good. I don't want it coming up. So I'm going to tuck that right up under the journaling card, because I kind of wanted to see how that's going to look. So I'm going to press that down. And then you just tuck your journaling card right in there. And the journaling card, I might later on glue a picture of the kids down. And so that journaling card will be like a little photo mat. So, just glue the picture right on top of there. And then on the back of the journaling card, I can just write on it. Or if, sometimes some of the designs get a little too busy for me, and I can just write it on a plain piece of cardstock or piece of paper, journal a little something, and glue it to the back of that journaling card. You could even take it a step further, ink around the edges, make it look kind of old and vintage, distressed. That's another idea. Like if you're writing on just a plain white piece of paper and you want to make it look old, just take some ink to it, or some, some alcohol ink spray, and, just kind of make it look old. I do that a lot of times with my envelopes. I just start spraying envelopes, just get a big long line of them, just start spraying them, sit them out in the sun, let them dry. And I do that a lot. In fact, I did that with this month's This and That mystery kit, we're kind of doing like a light pink and also mint color theme in the August This and That box. And so one envelope is mint colored and one envelope is a light pink color. So I just went to it and let them sit out in the sun, and I really like the effect of it. So now I'm going to take some more. This one isn't wadded up as bad, but it was kind of stringy, so I cut it off. And I'm taking some gesso, or you could take white acrylic paint, whatever you have in your stash, or if you don't want to add the white color or a paint color, you could even just glue it down. I wanted to kind of tone down some of the black from the music notes, and then also kind of let that pink piece of paper kind of melt in with the actual book page we were gluing it onto, so that's why I used the gesso. So I want to use the rest of this piece of napkin. I love this napkin, just absolutely love it. I'm trying to find the perfect napkins for the next altered book or mixed media junk journal that's launching next week. And because I love these napkins. And so I'm still on the lookout for some, just kind of getting the last little bits and pieces put together for the kit. I was able to kind of jump ahead this month because I wanted to put a special touch on all the kits. It does make it easier with the kids going back to school, that I'm able to focus a little bit more on some of this stuff, and just add an extra special touch to the kits. So just kind of gluing that down. I find that it's better for me, or easier to work with, especially if you're doing some decoupage like gluing napkins or tissue paper down. I do like to use a paintbrush. I really prefer a paintbrush over a palette knife or just squirting out a bunch of glue. I feel like the paintbrush kind of gives it that even amount of glue, and then you just press your hand over it. And on the napkins I'm gluing down on here, sometimes I go over the top of it, but on these I did not want to. I love the texture of the napkins, so I wanted to keep that textural component. If you add the Mod Podge on top of the napkins, it's going to take away that soft feel of the napkins, which if you don't like the soft feel, then go ahead and Mod Podge over it, and it'll just kind of have like a kind of a smooth plastic feel, if you will. And but I'm just adding it on with the paintbrush and just pressing it down with my hand, so that most of the napkin will keep that soft velvety feel. So I'm taking one of the journaling cards, turning it over, and I'm going to use it for the graph paper image that's on the back of it. I really like that. And so I'm just kind of tearing it off where I want it, how much I want to be on the paper. And I'm going to just glue it on the back. I was going to just squirt it from the bottle, but the cardstock is thick, and sometimes it's best to get a pretty good amount of glue all over the whole piece. That way it can really stick down good. And so that's what I'm going for here. I don't want any of my pieces to be coming undone, or I have to keep going back and forth gluing things. I want it one and done, and I don't have to keep going back. So sometimes that thicker layer of glue will help. And so I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece of lace down. I thought that would just add a nice touch to the layout. And sometimes gluing down a piece of lace to the napkin, it just doesn't want to stick. I'm trying to add some extra glue and hoping that it will make it stick better. And so I've got the other half of this journaling card. I think I'm going to have it go vertical. Since the other one is going horizontal, I think I'm going to have this one go vertical. And I'm tearing off the pieces. I want it just to kind of butt up next to the napkin. So I'm just going to kind of tear it off a little bit. So this piece of lace is not sticking to the napkin, so I'm just going to glue it right on the cardstock. And that way it's done. So I love this journaling card with the cute little poem, the picture of the birds. And so I'm going to use that. And then I'm cutting another piece out of the birthday card. Everyone received a card that you can use however. So I had cut some of it up the other day or last week when I did the other tutorial. And so I saw this little piece on the back of the card. I'm like, oh, I'm going to use that. It just adds a little bit of brightness, a little design. So I definitely wanted to use that on this layout. Just pressing that down real good. And I like how this piece of napkin has that purple line. What I'm going to do to offset that is to take this journaling card and just kind of go outside that line. And at first I thought I was going to glue it down, and then I'm like, no, I think I'm just going to add some washi tape. That way I can flip it out. That way, you know, maximize the amount of space on each individual layout. So got that washi tape down, see, and I can glue down a piece of a picture or something right on that white spot. And then we've got our pocket, put tags or whatever you want to in there. So I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Thanks so much.